This is Fire Emblem Gaiden, but whenever I level up, all of my stats go down, and every turn, there's a 10% chance of the game crashing. Okay, so that last part is just because I suck at coding, but it's fine, I got my own time crystal. So before going into the first map, there's some stuff to do, such as giving very in-depth and important overviews on the units that you get at the start of the act. Will be bad, will be bad, will be bad, good. So overall, I gave Celica's starting party a mage clip out of 10.
Maybe I should have gave 1 speed to him, like back in the shrine.
There's also some fountains that I can use for stat boosts. I can save them for later, but Celica's route has graveyards that you have to walk over, which always start a battle. Just the thought of having to do an extra battle in this game is enough to make me use the fountains instantly. Although later on, I found out that when you finish an act, the graveyard in that act doesn't trigger a fight anymore, so I could have saved these fountains. Even now, I learn new things about Gaiden. Probably because people don't care enough to record this stuff. No. I gave 3 speed to Celica because she's one of the units I'm going to train in this act. The brilliant mind behind Gaiden decided, let's make the starting spell weigh more than almost every melee weapon in the game. So after 1 level, she can't even double thieves and I need to get her to level 5. Not taking attack will make her fire weaker, but it's better than hitting only once. Okay, I mean you probably only hit once anyways, but it's better than nothing. The plus 3 speed on Celica helps with the training, but looking back, it probably would have been better to think about the future and go plus 3 attack on Jenny, so that when she gets physic, she can do something with it. The first map is a map full of monsters, and it won't be the last one. But before having to deal with the entire population of the undead Paris, the game is generous enough to serve up a bit of an appetizer.
Agility just cancels out a lot of the really weird funk pungent this dank, and it really brings out the nice colorful dank.
Zombies are the weakest of the monsters to the point of doing more psychological damage than physical due to how long their animations take. Not only do they have the worst stats in the game, but they also give the least amount of EXP, making them a complete waste of time whenever you have to fight them, though there is some benefit in fighting them in Act 3. In this map, I want to focus on training Jenny since I want her to get to level 4. She can only use the Nosferatu spell, which is a lot more crap than the fire spell. Training her sucks, but fortunately, so does every enemy on this map. They're honestly whatever, sure they give the most avoid in the game, but first of all, everyone in Celica's party can use magic, which ignores terrain bonuses. Even if my entire team was physical, they still wouldn't be an issue. For the terrain that are actually annoying, you can see how there are not only a bunch of these tiles, but also how they're all grouped together, making it more easy for enemies to take advantage of terrain when attacking. For any map with gravestones though, they're all spread out across the map, meaning all you have to do is just not stand next to one. In fact, just stand on it yourself. They're more helpful than anything since all monsters are physical. This map becomes even more of a joke with them. After the map, I reach the harbor and pick up Saber, the mercenary. You can never go wrong with a mercenary with their class bases, and they're even better on Celica's route because unlike Alm's route, you actually get swords. Sorry lightning sword, but you kind of fell off.
Plus ratio, plus you're white, plus you're British, plus you're benched.
Now we sail into the next map, which is a boat map full of thieves. Truck point. Put save up front, have mages on the side.
And you're done. Congratulations.
This is also a good map to train Jenny in, but unfortunately, Nosferatu. The archer can be a bit annoying, but once you bait it to the front lines, the rest of the map plays out like the last one.
Honestly, there is no real answer.
Once Jenny reaches level 4, she learns Invoke, a spell that allows her to summon soldiers that will be useful for upcoming maps. After getting Invoke, I started training Celica for level 5. The next map is a bunch of thieves and some green units. This is Balbar and his gang, who are here to kill Daha because he murdered Balbar's family. Who cares, man? Just buy another family. I'm pretty sure the boss sells people in Chalice of Valentia too, so... Balbar's gang would distract some of the thieves, but there are still a lot of them coming towards Celica. Fortunately, I can call for some backup because of Invoke. Of course I get 2. As you can see, our Fireline unit is currently getting his ass kicked. Probably because he only has 2 defense now. I got the letter shield from the last map, which gives 3 defense, and the reason why I didn't give the sabers because the boss of the map is Daha, who is just at level 10 friggin. Okay, so quick trivia. Bosses in Gaiden don't actually have unique stats. Every enemy in the game uses the same level up formula, even important ones like Budolf. All the game does is use their class bases, and for every 2 levels, they get these boosts. Daha is level 10, and he just ends up being a brigand that sucks less, but he can't even dent Balbar. If you have any expectations for bosses, drop them. Like what you should do with this game. I make my way to Daha after handling the initiative group through this very well-designed, narrow pathway. Like, what was Daha cooking when he decided that he wanted this wall in his lair? I can also try to take a pot shot at him with base, since Thunder is actually 1 to 3 range in this game. Balbar proceeds to beat the shit out of him, and then I come in to snipe the kill. I guess Balbar didn't get to have his revenge, but it's fine, there's a second Daha in Act 3. So now we get Balbar and his gang. Balbar is a knight who can do stuff in Act 2 and then... Kamuri is another merc, which you can't go wrong with. I also get the Steel Sword, which like the Steel Bow, reduces your speed by 1, but unlike the Steel Bow, increases your attack by 4. No bias here. So the next map has a shaman on it. Shamans are enemies that are able to summon monsters. They have a chance of summoning every turn, so you'll probably have to deal with the summons by the time you get on his boat. This one summons zombies, so I guess his game plan is to summon enough zombies to drain all of my sanity. You can get rid of all the summons by killing the shaman, but that's too easy. We gotta put him on a healing tile that gives him 40 avoid and passive healing every turn. Now that's fair.
I hate it so much! I hate it!
On top of that, he hits like a truck with 15 magic damage. Well, if he's on a healing tile, I can just use magic to negate the bonus, right? Yeah, I could, and do like 1 damage back because he has 9 res. Also, he doubles my magic uses, so that's fun. Basically, just get lucky. Balbar actually gets 1 rounded by the shaman, but I didn't really have a choice at this point, and he was able to save me from another 10 minutes of pain. The next map is just another choke point map. Man, I'm having so much fun right now. Once I kill the merc and bait the archer, it just becomes another grind fest for Celica. She reaches level 5 and gets Angel, a spell that is effective against monsters which will be needed for the next map. There's a shrine that Celica can go to right now that has a pretty good weapon, but it's blocked by a Necro Dragon. Necro Dragons are basically the Valentia version of tanks. They hit really hard and can soak up a lot of damage, which is why the Angel spell is needed for these guys.
Tanks don't go from 0 to 60 just like that. They're not sports cars, so to be launched like that, you're relying a lot on the momentum of the truck itself.
I start off with Invoke to lure the dragon and then surround it. I don't have the most durable well, but they just need to hold on long enough for Celica to kill an Angel. Of course I missed the first one. It takes a while, but eventually it'll get chipped down and I get the Holy Ring, which ends up being my main source of healing due to how awful my healer has become. Throughout the act, I haven't really been safe stating as much as the last act since I was feeling good with how stable the game has been so far, and the game was kind enough to remind me why I was using them in the first place. Man, I love this game. I find some fountains and decide to give 3 HP to Jenny since Invoke is so expensive. There's another fight that you can do at the back of the shrine, which contain new monsters I can talk about. Skeletons are like the cone heads of zombies. They have a lot more defense than zombies, but fortunately they're slow and have 0 res, so magic can handle them. You know, normally. Gargoyles are fast, and you may be thinking, they're like the opposite of skeletons, right? But no! Not only is their defense 1 less than skeletons, but they also have resistance, making them really annoying to kill. They're weak to bows, but because Kage hates archers don't have fly effectiveness without a bow. With their 7 move, they just end up being one of the most annoying enemies to fight in dungeons. After that very fun fight, we get the Holy Sword. The Holy Sword is an extremely good weapon to have, especially in Celica's route, because it is effective against monsters.
Stand still!
Definitely a balanced weapon that does not indicate any bias.
What they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
The next map is a boat map filled with wizards. This map may look annoying with all the magic around, but I got the perfect solution for this. I call it the amazing maneuver of geniusly used Saber. Basically, give the Holy Sword to Saber and just sit at the choke point. With the passive 5 healing and 6 base res, he can tank for days and wizards will be forced to attack at one range due to the choke point. On top of the Holy Sword healing, I can also heal with Jenny and be completely fine because she has the Holy Ring and 13 res. With this unbreakable wall, it takes no effort to get Saber to level 7. I feed the others some EXP too, which leads to Leon reaching level 7 as well. After killing the last wizard, I'm done. That was the last map of Act 2. No big boss or anything, just some wizards on a boat. I go back to Sea Shrine to get Kamuri to level 7 and then promote my 2 mercs and Leon for the next act. I enter Sophia Castle to talk to Alm and end the act. I'm sure that fucking YouTube has already abandoned me at this point, so I'm sure no one's watching this, but yeah, that's the video. You know, took a while, you know, because it kind of happens when you go on a 3-month trip to Britain, and then right after the trip you get fucking sick, and then your fucking mic breaks, and half the video gets fucking deleted, you know. Just normal stuff for me. But yeah, I did try to restore most of it, but I think if you exclude this part, the video was supposed to be like maybe 12 minutes long, but hey, it doesn't really matter. Like, there was a bit about Gaiden AI and some text when I was sick, but it doesn't really fucking matter. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the next video won't be as long, but I won't make promises because I really suck at those. So make sure you subscribe so that by the time I upload, you forget who I am, and then you unsubscribe right after.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.